And at this moment in hockey history, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves in 5th place in the Central Division after 19 games skated. They have a record of 9-10. They have 18 points and find themselves 8 points behind a trio of teams that are tied for first place in the Central Division. Let's start right there, and then we'll make our way into the Nashville Predators' next matchup, which will take place on home ice against the Winnipeg Jets, who happen to be one of those 3 teams that are currently tied for first place in the Central Division. The Colorado Avalanche are technically in first place with a record of 13-6. They have 26 points. The Winnipeg Jets are in second place with a record of 12-5-2. They also have 26 points. Then the Dallas Stars at 12-5-2, also with 26 points, are in third place. You'll find the St. Louis Blues with a record of 10-8-1 at 21 points, and the Nashville Predators in 5th place with a record of 9-10 and 18 points. Arizona also at 18 points in 6th place. Minnesota at 14, and Chicago in 8th and last in the Central Division with 12 points. All teams have skated in 19 games in the Central except for 7th and 8th place Minnesota and Chicago. Now, the Nashville Predators' next opponent is the Winnipeg Jets, currently tied for first place in the Central Division on the road, which is where the next game will take place for Winnipeg. They are 6-2-1 on the season. They've scored 69 goals, and they've given up 56 against. The Nashville Predators on home ice at Bridgestone Arena are 6-4. They have 64 goals scored on the season and 62 goals given up on the season. For the Nashville Predators, once they wrap up this next game against the Winnipeg Jets, Tuesday they'll host the Pittsburgh Penguins. Thursday they'll host the Minnesota Wild. Saturday they will host the New York Rangers, and then Sunday off to Buffalo. December is the busiest month on the schedule for the Nashville Predators, and they start off with a back-to-back right there at the beginning of the month of December. Now, for the Nashville Predators and the Winnipeg Jets, this is the second of 4 meetings between these Central Division rivals. They met once before on November the 9th. It was the Winnipeg Jets scoring a 6-3 victory in Winnipeg. For the Predators, it was Phil Forsberg with 2 goals and Philip Tomasino with a goal. UC Saros 31 of 36, but he took the loss. Brossoit in net for Winnipeg went 20 out of 23 and picked up the victory. Connor led the way offensively with 3 goals and 1 assist for 4 points, but he wasn't the only one with 4 points. Scheifele had 4 assists in that game. The Winnipeg Jets were simply dominant against the Nashville Predators. There is no denying that in that game. These 2 teams will meet 2 times in the second half of the season in the 2024 calendar portion of this season. On March the 13th, the Predators will be in Winnipeg for the second and final trip this season. And then on April the 9th, the Nashville Predators will welcome Winnipeg for the second and final time to Bridgestone Arena this year in the regular season, that is. For the Nashville Predators, an injury update. Luke Schenn is back skating at practice, but still listed on IR. Novak still approximately 2 to 4 weeks before being available to return from injured reserve, and Glass is on injured reserve as well. Now, let's dive into the Winnipeg Jets, and then we'll get into the matchup between these 2 Central Division rivals. Let's go back and talk about the last 5 games for the Winnipeg Jets, and they have been red hot as of late. They have been climbing in the standings, and the Nashville Predators have been climbing in the standings as well. Just a week ago, the Preds were in last place. Now they're in 5th place. Well, the Winnipeg Jets were right around 4th, 5th place, and now they are tied for first place. They have been on a run, and it was November the 14th. They had a 6-3 win versus the New Jersey Devils. Followed that up on the 17th with a 3-2 win versus the Buffalo Sabres. On the 18th of November, a 5-2 win versus Arizona. On the 22nd of November, a 3-2 overtime win in Tampa Bay. And most recently on the 24th of November, a 3-0 win at Florida. Hellebuck gets a shutout with 33 saves in that game. So every single one of those games I talked about for the Winnipeg Jets in their previous 5, all wins, and they are performing at quite a high level at this moment in the season. When it comes to the rankings and the matchup between these 2 teams, the Nashville Predators 3.37 goals per game, the best that they've had all season. That is 10th best in the NHL, while the Winnipeg Jets 3.63 goals per game is 7th best in the NHL. When these 2 teams played the first game of the season, Winnipeg scored 6 times against the Nashville Predators. In the goals against category, Winnipeg giving up 2.89 per game is 9th overall in the NHL, while the Predators giving up 3.26 per game is 18th in the NHL. So the Nashville Predators have a very narrow margin between goals for and goals against so far on the season. In the shots for category, the Nashville Predators generating 31.6. The Winnipeg Jets are also generating 31.6. That has them 12th and 13th, respectively, in the NHL. In the shots against category, Predators giving up 30.1 per game is 14th overall in the NHL, while the Winnipeg Jets are only giving up 28.1 shots per game. That is 5th best in the entirety of the NHL, and the Nashville Predators have certainly been generating above their average per game shots these last few games, so it'll be very interesting to see how the Nashville Predators shots on goal versus the Winnipeg Jets shots against metric really compare in this matchup at Bridgestone Arena. Things are a little bit different for the Predators on home ice. They are a better team at home, that is for certain. When it comes to the special teams for both of these teams, the Winnipeg Jets power play, 18.5% is 21st in the NHL, 12 out of 65 on the season. The Nashville Predators are 20% conversion on the power play. That's 18th best in the NHL. They've converted 16 times on 80 opportunities. On the penalty kill, the Nashville Predators, 73.4% kill rate is 27th overall, and they have given up 17 power play goals. Again, 73.8% is the kill rate for the Winnipeg Jets. That's 26th in the league, just one spot ahead of the Nashville Predators. They've given up just one less power play goal against them. The Predators giving up 16 on the season. Let's talk individual statistics and statistics leaders for each of these teams. Philip Forsberg with 11 goals and 13 assists for 24 points leads the Nashville Predators, and 24 points in 19 games for Forsberg is highly impressive, off to one of the best starts, if not the best start of his entire career through the first 20 games. O'Reilly at 10 goals and 8 assists for 18 points has been an incredible addition to this Nashville Predators team this season. Nyquist also very quietly getting the job done out there. 2 goals, 12 assists for 14 points, third overall on the team in scoring. So your Nashville Predators top line of Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Nyquist are 1, 2, and 3 in scoring on the team. Tommy Novak is on injured reserve, but still sits at 4th on the team in scoring, 6 goals, 6 assists for 12 points. Luke Evangelista is second amongst rookies, just behind Connor Bedard of Chicago, 3 goals and 9 assists for 12 points so far on the season. On the other side of the ledger, when it comes to the Winnipeg Jets and their leading scorers, Connor, who just lit the Nashville Predators up this last time they played, for 3 goals and an assist, has 14 goals overall in the season, plus 8 assists for 22 points. Scheifele at 7 and 15 for 22 points. Morrissey, 3 goals and 15 assists for 18 points. Cole Perfetti also scored against the Nashville Predators the last time these two teams played. He has 6 goals in the season, 10 assists for 16 points, and Appleton's at 6 and 9 for 15. Anticipated goaltender matchup, Connor Hellebuck, 10-4 and 1.908 save percentage, 2.65 goals against average. UC Saros, 6-9 and 8.94 save percentage, a 3.13 goals against average. Last game for UC Saros, trending in the right direction. The numbers still not looking so great. Just the updated numbers on Kevin Lankinen, 3-1 on the season, a 9.13 save percentage, a 2.79 goals against average. That's going to have you all set up for the Nashville Predators Sunday evening against the Winnipeg Jets at Bridgestone Arena. Very much looking forward to that game and wrapping up a great weekend of hockey here in Middle Tennessee. Nashville Predators getting an opportunity to play in front of the home crowd a couple of times, even squeezing in a road game on Black Friday. And we're going to talk about that game coming up in the next segment. It's called the Rebirth Sports Full Game Recap, and it's coming up next right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.